someone start the timer. Okay. I don't have a cool mic set up, so I already feel like I'm at a disadvantage, but okay. I focused on the product display page last time, so this time I wanted to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to take y'all on a journey for the product list page, which I feel very passionate is an often overlooked page in the customer journey. Obviously the action usually happens on the PDP or in the basket. But especially when we're talking about jewelry and places where you can really merchandise and make things extremely desirable and help people build a style, I feel like the list page is where it's at. So I was previously on a navigation and taxonomy team in my career. So I feel very strongly that having a great filter or variable left nav experience is really important. So one thing that is just essential in terms of usability, just make this X-outable. Like, you know, when someone, especially on mobile, is opening up the filters, once they've gone through and started adding a bunch of filters to their selections, it makes it really difficult to then figure out how to get back out and see their results. So I would just bring that up to the top or make it even hover and stick to the bottom of the page. And another piece here that I think is important is showing the users how many product options are within each bucket. So I don't know when I go to select bracelets, are you going to show me 3 and then I'm just kind of disappointed, or do you have a ton and a huge assortment to choose from? So that's something that I would play with. I also really love having a dynamic left navigation if you're able to create that experience. So that would boost the filters available based on previous user engagement or just overall analytics for your type of user. So maybe new users, we know that they always come in and filter on their size, or someone who's shopped a lot may be looking for a specific collection. So I would just make sure that your most engaged with filters are at the top of that experience, whether you're doing it dynamically with data or by manually boosting them. And then just another piece that I wanted to highlight is when we're looking at the list page, there's some of these have like a collection on them in the top left corner. It's very difficult to read. I don't know what that means. So I would really work on building out some stronger product descriptions. Those are really great for SEO and also give people just like a bite-size PDP really quick in terms of what it is. So like, what is the material? What is the finish? Is it a pack of 2? Just really easily browsable, especially for jewelry and clothing in particular. And then I would make this collection clickable. So I really love collection pages, especially when we're talking about merchandising and shopping. So I want to be able to click into this and see all of the different options in this demi-fine collection. And I currently can't do that. So that's another piece that I think would really improve the experience here. I actually thought that the basket was great and I didn't have a ton of notes when we get lower in the funnel. So I really wanted to focus on, where I feel like there's the most opportunity. And I would also make the collections an option in the left-hand filters as well. And I'm going to yield my time back. So Chase, you can't do that now.
Let me know when I'm good to go on this.
Good to go.
All right, starting my timer. Man, that thing moves fast. All right, so I don't think there's anyone on this call or in this webinar that hasn't heard of Pura Vida. They are one of the darlings of DTC. Like, they know what they're doing. With that said, everything we're talking about, they probably have tested. And like, if you're going to go in and do CRO for a legacy brand, like I have to double down again on data. They have probably got a backlog of split tests that a lot of the assumptions that we have in the first call outs, they probably already tested them. They have good reasons why. So for mature brands, something I really like to go in with is Josh Frank actually taught me this. It's like bigger tests. Just try something crazy. So like if you're going to do CRO for a brand like Pura Vida, like you're going to go into their collection page and just completely redesign it and see what happens. Like that's a better split test than maybe some more iterative stuff. Changing button colors, font sizes, anything like marginal shifts to layouts, that's not going to give you the big results that you want. You should try bigger tests and more interesting stuff. A lot of these things will be driven by user testing, by customer interviews, by customer surveys, by actually going into Hotjar or Heatmap and checking how people are actually interacting with the websites. Now here's like the number one cheat that I would talk about here is Heatmap has this crazy thing where they will identify values driven by the layout of a collection page. So I think for them, if we go into their best-selling collection page here and they were using a tool like heatmap.com, Heatmap will tell you which tombstone actually delivered more value per session. And then you redesign your entire collection page with a custom layout based upon the best revenue drivers. And that's like a big CRO winner there. Some call outs for just this brand in particular, like having such cheap products would be terrifying for me as an average order value and driving traffic to this. So I would like really lean into bundling, upsells and cross sells throughout the journey. I think this is trying to do it, but I think they could be more playful and trying to get more stuff in the cart. Ash's cart at Avi, who I was against earlier, they have an insanely good cart. It's really gamified. I would go check out their cart for inspiration. But whenever you have a low average order value product, you want to really incentivize bundling and upsells and getting more into the cart because that makes you closer to being profitable on first purchase. And then for some reason, I can't click into the checkout here, but I would guess that they maybe have some opportunity in checkout and post purchase to, again, try to get more stuff into cart. I don't know. I leaned a lot into we need more data for a brand like Pura Vida. Maybe I didn't answer the question. I hope I win. I'm done.
That was really good, you guys. First and foremost, yeah, Chase, totally agree. Pura Vida is probably one of the hardest websites to double down and find clear-cut opportunities. They are a well-established brand. They know their stuff. They know what they're doing. They've got kick-ass product. I mean, they're really on top of their game over there. So kudos to them. I totally agree with you. Go big or go home on the testing. Like to me, it would be a lot of landing page testing in particular, and trying to create landing pages that really speak to the traffic source that the user's coming from, who they are, the demographics, geographics, all of the above, to really make that curated experience and just kind of figure out like kind of what's working. And that's really where I would dedicate my time if I was sitting on their team, just because I do really feel like they're a well-oiled machine. With that said, Cassie, the details that you have shared and those nuanced opportunities that you found from a merchandising perspective on the product listing page kind of sealed the deal for me. I feel like you pointed out really, really great opportunities that from the art perspective of the website, because again, I think they crush it with the science. I think they crush it. They've got every functionality on that website that you could ever want. They get a gold star in my book. But I think there's opportunity with merchandising. And I think going into, of course, I would want, a heatmap.com put on the site, really understand even on that dedicated, shop all collection page, really understand who's interacting with those filters. What do those filters mean? Is there an opportunity to drive deeper? I saw that they've got that category carousel on the homepage that's clearly working for them on the homepage. Do they replicate that on a shop all page to get to categories quicker and then use filters to drive in, even deeper to different stylized opportunities? Definitely agree with you on the quick and easy X out. Chase, to your point, they probably tested it, but to me, that's kind of a no-brainer to always, have there, easy access in and out. I also go to a place of, their shop all, it is so robust, add in some content blocks, make it even easier to kind of navigate through that breadth and depth of assortment. So, long-winded way of saying, Cassie, I thought your call outs were really great. Albeit, Chase, I totally agree with you with the overarching testing strategy. My vote is going to go to Cassie. I think you pulled out some really nuanced, detailed, opportunities. So well done to both of you.
Okay, so my turn. This was hard. I think it was very tied because it's kind of different directions, but I agree with both. Chase the whole, they know what they're doing. Let's not focus on small tests, but just do an overhaul and do an entire new PLP, for example. I've done that and I love that. My only thing there is that if it wins, I don't know exactly what it is that, you know, improved, and then how do I replicate it? So that's my only thing. But when you're that big, you've probably tested all the small tests, so it makes sense. I know where you're coming from. And the whole AOV call out, $20, very low. So the upsells, the cross sells, the bundling, all that, very important as well. So great call out. Cassie, the whole filters discussion you had, I totally agree with. I think not all brands have to have this huge focus on filters, but like jewelry, apparel, I think those definitely do. I recently bought a bunch of jewelry and online, and the filters was where I was spending most of my time, the bracelets and sizes and colors, and the call out on the material also very important. Is it gold? Is it silver? Is it, you know, coated? I don't know. It's very important for us who shop for jewelry. Those details are so important. And the number of products that are in each category. I know in the K18, you also mentioned the number of washes that the product gives you. Those small things I think are just so important for the user experience to make the decision to purchase. So my vote will also go to Cassie. Great job.
Congratulations, Cassie.